Welcome to the Deep Dive. Our mission, as always, is pretty simple. We take this huge mountain of information and we just try to filter it down.
Right, down to the essential stuff, the things you can actually use.
Exactly. The actionable knowledge. We're always looking for those aha moments that really shift your perspective and leave you genuinely well-informed.
And today I think we have a topic that's, well, it's fundamental to wellness, isn't it? We're going to fortify your immune system.
But not in the way you usually hear about. We're moving past the glossy magazine articles, the really complex supplement routines.
Yeah, our sources today are focused on, believe it or not, just 10 everyday foods, things you can find in any grocery store.
And that's the whole point, right? That's the power of it. Our research isn't trying to sell you something expensive. It's arguing for foundational strength. We want to skip the simple eat this list and really drill down into the biology. What are these foods doing inside your body?
The why.
The why. We want to know the mechanism, the specific reason behind these, simple daily choices.
And that's exactly how we've structured this. We're going to group these 10 items based on their main job, their primary function in the immune system.
Yeah.
So first we'll look at the foods that are let's call them the essential defenders.
The frontline troops.
And the front line. They're all about cell production and direct protection. Then we'll get into internal teamwork. So the things that manage your gut and reduce unnecessary inflammation.
That sounds critical, the internal environment.
It's everything. And then finally, we'll hit the whole food powerhouses. These are the nutrient-dense vegetables that just provide that broad, comprehensive support.
I love that functional breakdown. It really elevates the knowledge, doesn't it?
It does.
Because when you understand that, okay, this food is my production manager, and that one is my internal peacekeeper, well, your choices become strategies.
They become intentional.
Yes, intentional. We're showing you how simple, consistent choices can support your body from the inside out.
It's all about building resilience. The goal here is to move you past just memorizing a list and into, a genuine understanding. To see that food isn't just fuel.
It's instruction.
It's literally instruction for your immune system.
All right, let's jump in. Section 1, the front lines.
Yeah.
The essential defenders.
Let's do it.
This is all about the elements focused on either creating the parts of the immune system or protecting the cells that are already on the job.
Exactly. And we have to start with a real heavyweight. I think everyone knows this one.
I have a feeling I know what you're going to say.
Citrus fruits. Oranges, lemons, limes, grapefruits.
Of course.
And look, everyone knows vitamin C is good for you, right? But the deep dive here reveals just how critical it really is. The sources literally call them vitamin C heroes.
And they're really clear on the core function. They call vitamin C the production factory manager. It helps your body produce more white blood cells.
That analogy is so accurate. But let's get a little closer and look at the actual factory floor. Your white blood cells? They're the actual soldiers of your immune system. We're talking about things like lymphocytes, which are your B cells and T cells.
They recognize and remember the bad guys.
Precisely. And then you have phagocytes, which literally, they eat and digest the pathogens.
Wow.
And the production of all these cells is incredibly demanding on the body. It takes a ton of energy. And vitamin C is, well, it's an essential cofactor. It makes sure that your bone marrow has what it needs to ramp up production fast.
So if you want a strong standing army, you need a constant supply line. You need high-quality production input day in and day out. But, okay, this raises a question for me. Based on the science, vitamin C is water-soluble. Your body doesn't store it, right?
Right.
So doesn't that mean we just flush out any extra? Does it diminish the long-term benefit?
That is precisely the challenge, and it's exactly why our sources emphasize daily, consistent intake from real food, not just megadosing with supplements every now and then.
Oh, yeah.
Because it's water-soluble, you have to replenish your supply, pretty much every 24 hours to keep your levels optimal. If your levels drop, the efficiency of that white blood cell factory, it slows down immediately.
So a little bit every day from something like citrus is way better than a huge dose once a week.
Infinitely better. It's about maintaining the immune infrastructure year-round, not just, crisis intervention when you feel a sniffle coming on.
That totally reframes it. It's not a quick fix. It's a non-negotiable daily necessity.
Yeah.
And the sources say the application is just so easy. A slice of lemon or lime in warm water. That's it. You're proactively boosting the production cycle.
And that ease of integration is what makes the consistency possible. You're just making these small, delicious deposits into your immune system's bank account every single day.
Okay, so we've produced our new, strong immune cells. Now we need to protect them.
Exactly.
And this brings us to antioxidants, which defend the very cells vitamin C just helped us create. And the sources point to two very different players here, green tea and blueberries.
Yeah, let's start with green tea. It is so often seen as this, calm, ritualistic thing. But biologically, it is a chemical powerhouse. The material calls it a calm drink, but a powerful one.
And its power comes from what?
It's packed with these polyphenols, specifically a group called catechins. And the most famous of those is EGCG.
Right, I've heard of that. So these are the heavy-duty antioxidants. And the claim is they help protect your cells, but also keep your immune system alert. Let's unpack that second part, the alertness.
Okay, so the protection part is pretty standard antioxidant action. They neutralize free radicals.
Which are unstable molecules that cause damage.
Right. They cause oxidative stress, which is basically like friendly fire.
Right.
It damages the membranes of your own immune cells. So green tea reduces that noise, protects the cell structure.
Got it.
But the alertness it's more nuanced. The catechins in green tea, especially EGCG, they've been shown to modulate certain signaling pathways in the immune system, so they provide this kind of constant low-level vigilance.
What does that mean in practice?
It means the system is always ready. So when a real threat shows up, the response is quicker, it's more targeted, it's not slow and panicked, it keeps the immune system finely tuned without being, overly reactive.
So it's like it minimizes the distractions, it cleans up the internal mess, so the soldiers can focus on the real enemy outside.
That's a perfect way to put it. It allows the body to maintain that stable internal state by managing all the background static of oxidative stress.
Okay, so that's green tea for general vigilance.
Yeah.
Now let's shift to blueberries, also loaded with antioxidants. But the sources give them a very specific job. They help the body fight stress and protect immune cells from the damage this stress causes.
Yeah, this is a key distinction.
So how is a blueberry's antioxidant profile functionally different from green tea's?
Well, the power in blueberries comes from compounds called anthocyanins. That's what gives them that deep blue-purple color.
Right.
And while green tea is for that general operational alertness, blueberries offer a much more targeted defense against the systemic effects of stress.
Let's focus on that word. Stress. Chronic stress means chronic cortisol, the stress hormone. How does cortisol physically damage our immune cells? Why do we need blueberries to fight it?
Well, cortisol is supposed to be a short-term survival hormone, right?
Yeah.
It's fight or flight. It suppresses things that aren't essential for immediate escape, like digestion and, crucially, immunity.
Right.
But when stress is chronic, when cortisol is high all the time, it actively tells crucial immune cells to...
That distinction is fascinating. So green tea for general internal cleanup and blueberries to actively battle the corrosion that our modern stressful lives inflict directly on our frontline defenders.
Exactly. They are critical protectors for maintaining the integrity of our defense system in a high-stress world. They're these little powerhouses that help maintain your immune capacity even when you're, running on fumes.
Wow. Okay, our final essential defender in this first section, almonds.
Yes.
Described as tiny snacks with big benefits, and they provide vitamin E and healthy fats.
Yeah.
And the key word here, the sources say, is balance. Why is vitamin E so important for immune balance?
This is where we have to revisit that concept of solubility. We said vitamin C was water soluble.
Right.
Well, vitamin E is the opposite. It's lipid soluble or fat soluble. It dissolves in fat.
Okay.
And what are almonds full of?
Healthy fats.
Exactly. Almonds provide both the vitamin E and the healthy monounsaturated fats that your body needs to actually absorb the vitamin. If you take vitamin E without fat, your body barely absorbs any of it.
Wait a minute. So the healthy fat in almonds isn't just an added benefit. It's the delivery truck for the immune protection.
It is the delivery mechanism, absolutely. And think about where fat-soluble vitamins work. They work in fatty environments.
Like cell membranes.
Precisely. Every single cell in your body, especially your immune cells, is wrapped in a fatty membrane. And if that membrane gets attacked by free radicals, the cell malfunctions. Vitamin E embeds itself directly into those membranes and acts as the ultimate shield against that specific kind of damage.
So when the sources talk about balance, they really mean structural integrity.
That's exactly what they mean. The immune system needs immense structural support. If the membranes of your defense cells are weak, their ability to signal, to move, to engulf germs is all impaired.
Wow.
Almonds provide that robust structural maintenance. They keep the defense cells sound and functional, and that maintains overall immune balance.
I think we just took the simple act of snacking on a handful of almonds from just a protein boost to like an intentional act of cellular maintenance.
It is.
That's a huge aha moment. The fat is the key that unlocks the benefit.
It is.
Okay, so that was production and protection. Let's move into section 2, which is all about the environment where this all happens. Internal teamwork.
Yes, gut health and inflammation control. The conditions that have to be right for the immune system to work properly.
And where do we start?
We have to begin with yogurt. Specifically, plain yogurt with live cultures. This gets right to the heart of, the insight that's really revolutionized wellness in the last decade.
The gut connection.
The gut connection.
Our sources really hammer this home. They say that the friendly bacteria in yogurt help the gut, quote, where most of your immune system actually lives. That's a massive statement. We need to unpack that.
It is probably the single most critical point in immunology today. We're talking about something called gut-associated lymphoid tissue, or GALT.
GALT.
And the GALT contains 70 to 80% of your body's total immune cells. 70 to 80%. It includes things like Peyer's patches, which are these lymphoid nodules in your small intestine.
So why is it all concentrated there?
Because your gut is the largest surface area that's exposed to the outside world. It's constantly encountering foreign materials, germs, potential allergens from everything you eat and drink.
So the immune system basically sets up its main command center right there on the border to screen everything coming in.
Exactly. And the gut microbiome, those trillions of bacteria that yogurt supports, they don't just screen things, they actively train the GALT. They teach your immune system the difference between a friend and an enemy.
Wow.
When you eat plain yogurt with live cultures probiotics, you're introducing beneficial bacteria that help produce something called secretory immunoglobulin A, or IgA.
Yeah.
Think of IgA as the gut's barrier defense antibody. It paints the mucosal lining to neutralize threats before they can even get into your bloodstream.
So this is about way more than just good digestion. It's about maintaining a strong, impermeable wall.
Yes.
If the bacteria are balanced, the wall is strong, and the immune system doesn't have to waste its time and energy fighting things that are leaking into the system.
You've got it. It keeps the immune system from being preoccupied with these low-grade systemic threats. It frees it up to focus on the major invasions instead of being constantly bogged down in, internal skirmishes.
Okay, so let's get practical again. The sources are very strict. Plain yogurt with live cultures. What happens if you just grab a typical fruit-flavored, high-sugar yogurt off the shelf?
That one small detail completely negates the benefit. In fact, it does the opposite.
Really?
High sugar intake feeds the bad bacteria and yeast. It actually destabilizes the very environment we're trying to strengthen.
Wow.
The probiotics have to be live, they have to be active, and they need a low-sugar environment to do their job. You really have to check the label for specific strains like lactobacillus or bifidobacterium and keep the sugar to a minimum.
Okay, so the gut is the command center. Now let's talk about inflammation. It's a necessary response, but
it's often costly, and in modern life, we often have way too much chronic inflammation, which just exhausts the immune system.
And this brings us to what the sources call the anti-inflammatory duo, ginger and turmeric. Let's start with ginger.
Ginger gives you that, that gentle, immediate warmth. Its core job is to help reduce inflammation and support the body when you're fighting something acute like a cold.
We've all felt that warmth from ginger tea when we're sick. Biologically, what's happening? What compounds are at work?
So ginger's power comes mainly from gingerols. They're abundant in raw ginger, but when you cook or dry it, they can convert into something called show-gels, which are even more potent.
And what do?
They act as natural modulators of inflammatory cytokines.
The chemical messenger.
The chemical messengers, exactly. The ones that tell the immune system to create swelling and deploy resources. So these compounds inhibit some of those signaling molecules. It's actually a similar pathway to how some over-the-counter pain relievers work.
So ginger isn't stopping the immune system from doing its job.
Not at all.
It's just minimizing the collateral damage. The unnecessary swelling, the aches, the congestion, it just makes the whole recovery process less draining.
Exactly. It's like the immune system's maintenance crew, just cleaning up the debris after a battle so the system can stay effective without being overly disruptive. And again, the simplicity is key. A small slice in warm water goes a long way.
Okay, so that's ginger. The other half of this duo is turmeric. the golden spice.
Right. And this takes anti-inflammation to a much more systemic level. The source highlights its core component, curcumin.
Curcumin gives it the color and the power, and it's said to be excellent for reducing inflammation and supporting immunity in a much broader sense than ginger. How is its mechanism different?
Well, while ginger is fantastic for that acute, localized inflammation, curcumin offers a wider, multi-targeted approach to chronic inflammation.
Okay.
Curcumin works by influencing multiple molecular targets, but most famously by inhibiting something called the NF-κB pathway.
And what's that?
You can think of NF-κB as the master switch that controls the genes involved in inflammation. By helping to keep that switch turned off, curcumin helps prevent that runaway chronic inflammation that we now know underlies so many modern diseases.
That sounds incredibly powerful. But, okay, this is where the practical science always seems to trip people up. If curcumin is so potent, why can't we just eat more curry? I'm talking about bioavailability.
And this is maybe the most critical practical insight in our entire discussion today about turmeric.
Okay.
Curcumin has notoriously poor bioavailability. Your body just doesn't absorb it well on its own. It's metabolized way too quickly. So to unlock its benefits, you have to consume it in two specific ways.
And they are?
First, you need to combine it with a healthy fat source. Remember our discussion about fat-soluble vitamins, same principle.
Right.
And second, and this is the big one, our sources insist on the need for piperine.
Which is the compound found in black pepper.
Exactly. Piperine can enhance the absorption of curcumin by up to 2,000%.
2,000%.
It basically slows down its breakdown in the liver, giving your body more time to absorb it.
That is a true aha moment. So this incredibly powerful defense mechanism, turmeric, needs a super simple, cheap partner, black pepper, to even work inside the body.
It's essential.
So if you're making a turmeric latte or adding it to a soup, you have to add black pepper and a fat source, like coconut milk or olive oil.
Otherwise, you're missing almost all of the functional benefits.
Knowing the mechanism guides the action. That's a perfect example.
It is.
Okay, let's round out this internal teamwork section. We have garlic. The source describes it beautifully. The tiny white bulb with the big personality that acts like nature's tiny shield. Its job is boosting immune response and helping the body fight germs.
And that big personality comes from unique sulfur compounds, and the main one is called allicin.
Allicin.
But here's the thing. Allicin isn't actually in a whole garlic clove. It's only created when an enzyme called allinase mixes with a compound called allinase, and that only happens when you crush, chop, or chew the garlic.
So it's a defense mechanism for the plant.
It is, and it's a huge benefit for us.
Okay, so if it boosts immune response, what does that actually mean? Is it making new cells like vitamin C did?
No, it's primarily enhancing the speed and effectiveness of your innate immune system.
Your first responders.
Your immediate, non-specific defense.
Right. Allicin stimulates those phagocytes we talked about, the cells that eat invaders, making them more active and quicker to respond. It's all about preparedness and rapid deployment.
So it's like a small shield that deals with minor threats before they can escalate, and you have to call in the big guns of the adaptive immune system.
That's a great way to think about it.
So the lesson here is you have to intentionally crush or chop the garlic. And this is important. Let it sit for a minute or two before you cook it.
Yes, that pause allows the chemical reaction to happen and maximizes the release of allicin. You have to activate it to get that tiny shield effect.
That intentional activation is key.
It is. All right. We've covered cell production, cell protection, gut stabilization, and inflammation control. Now for our final section, section 3, which is all about the fuel for the whole system, the whole food powerhouses.
Yeah, these are the foods that just ensure the entire system has the nutrient density it needs to run long term.
And we start with a triple threat, spinach.
It really earns that title. Our sources point out it brings vitamins A, C, and E to the table. It literally feeds your immune system the nutrients it loves. It's a complete defense kit in one food.
Okay, so we've already covered the jobs of vitamin C, white blood cell production, and vitamin E for membrane protection. What does vitamin A add to the mix? It's usually associated with vision.
Vitamin A is foundational for maintaining all of your mucosal and epithelial barriers.
Okay, so what does that mean?
Think of your skin, the lining of your lungs, your gut lining, your nasal passages. These are your absolute first line of defense. If these barriers are intact, it's much harder for pathogens to get into your body in the first place. Vitamin A is essential for keeping those specialized cells healthy. During cold season, for example, the integrity of your respiratory tract lining is everything. Without enough vitamin A, those barriers can get weak, creating easy entry points for infection.
So spinach provides the stuff for defense creation, C, defense protection, E, and defense barrier maintenance, A. That's incredible.
It's incredibly comprehensive.
It's not a single function food at all. It's supplying the whole maintenance cycle.
Yeah.
The sources say you can have it lightly cooked or fresh. Is there a trade-off there, nutritionally?
There is a slight trade-off, yeah. Vitamin C is a bit sensitive to heat, so eating spinach fresh, like in a smoothie or a salad, maximizes your C intake.
Okay.
However, lightly cooking it, just a quick steam or wilt, actually makes the vitamin A and the iron more bioavailable. It helps break down some compounds called oxalates that can interfere with nutrient absorption.
So the best strategy for you, the listener, is probably variety. Use it fresh sometimes and lightly cooked other times to make sure you're getting the most out of all three of those critical vitamins.
Exactly. Flexibility is what leads to consistency. And spinach gives you that flexibility while covering all your nutritional bases.
Perfect. Okay, last but not least, we have broccoli, the underrated champion, often dismissed as, that thing your parents made you eat, but it is an absolute powerhouse. It's packed with vitamins, minerals, and fiber.
The nutritional density is just off the charts. But what makes it so special for immune support is the presence of glucosinolates.
And those convert into what?
They convert into powerful compounds like sulforaphane, which are really important for cellular detoxification pathways. That's critical for long-term immune health.
Now, the sources gave a very specific instruction for broccoli. Steam it lightly and you keep most of its power. Why is the preparation so vital here?
This is a lot like the garlic situation. You have to activate the compound.
Okay.
Broccoli contains the glucosinolates, and it also contains an enzyme called myrosinase. Those two have to mix to form the beneficial sulforaphane.
And I'm guessing that enzyme is sensitive?
Very sensitive to heat. If you boil your broccoli or overcook it, you destroy the myrosinase. The reaction can't happen.
So light steaming is the sweet spot.
Just a few minutes, yes.
Yeah.
It softens it up, but preserves the enzyme, so when you chew it, the conversion is maximized. You also get the benefit from eating it raw, of course, but light steaming is a great way to go.
Okay, let's pull the final thread here. This is the big synthesis. Let's connect the fiber and broccoli all the way back to our discussion on the gut in section 2.
Yes. This connection is the grand synthesis of internal teamwork. The fiber in broccoli acts as a prebiotic.
A prebiotic. So if yogurt provides the probiotics,
The live organisms, yes.
then broccoli provides the food for those organisms.
That's it. Prebiotics are non-digestible fibers that specifically feed and encourage the growth of the beneficial bacteria in your gut. This probiotic and prebiotic synergy is absolutely foundational. You can eat all the friendly bacteria you want from yogurt, but if you don't feed them with high-quality fiber from vegetables like broccoli, they can't thrive, they can't colonize, and they can't do their critical job of supporting your immune system and maintaining that strong gut barrier.
So broccoli literally ensures the health of the entire internal ecosystem.
It does.
That really reinforces this idea that none of these foods work in isolation. They're all part of a team, supporting a complete and balanced system.
Exactly.
Okay, this has been an incredibly deep dive into functional knowledge. We've gone way past just listing foods. Let's summarize the key takeaways one last time.
Let's do it. We started with the essential defenders. So citrus fruits drive the white blood cell factory with vitamin C. Green tea gives you cellular protection and vigilance.
Right, and blueberries offer that targeted defense against stress damage, while almonds ensure the structural integrity of your cell membranes with vitamin E and healthy fats.
Then we had our internal teamwork crew. Plain yogurt provides the probiotics to stabilize the gut where, most of your immunity lives.
Ginger and turmeric, with curcumin needing that black pepper and fat to act as the anti-inflammatory moderators. And garlic boosts the speed and readiness of our first responders.
And finally, the whole food powerhouses for fuel. Spinach with its triple threat of vitamins A, C, and E for barrier integrity, production, and protection.
And broccoli, offering not just vitamins, but also the crucial prebiotic fiber to feed that internal ecosystem. The central theme is it's undeniable. Immune support is an act of consistent, foundational nutrition. It's not about expensive, complex protocols.
It's about simple, everyday foods that you eat strategically. And that strategy comes from understanding the function.
Right.
Knowing that vitamin A maintains your respiratory lining, or that the fiber in broccoli fuels the defense cells in your gut. That transforms a passive choice into an intentional, powerful one. That's the key.
It's empowering. You're basically the manager of this highly complex ecosystem, and all the best tools are right there in your kitchen.
That's it.
All right, before we wrap up, what's the one provocative thought you want to leave the listener with?
Okay. As we finish up, I want to leave you with a thought that really connects this idea of simplicity and functional strategy. We've learned that optimizing your immune system is really just about providing your body's natural defense mechanism with the resources and conditions it needs to do its job well.
We're supporting what's already there.
We are. And we've uncovered some crucial, often overlooked details today. The need for daily water-soluble vitamins, the protective role of fat-soluble ones, the synergy of prebiotics and probiotics, and that critical need for black pepper to unlock turmeric's power.
All small things that make a huge difference.
Huge. So, considering these low-effort, high-impact strategies, my question for you is this. What is the smallest, single, most intentional modification you can integrate into your daily life starting tomorrow?
Not a whole lifestyle overhaul.
No, not an overhaul, just one simple act. Whether it's adding black pepper to your spice blend, or making sure a handful of almonds is always on your desk, or swapping out your sugary yogurt for a plain live culture one. Recognizing that these small, strategically informed daily choices, those are the true key to long-term fortification and resilience.
Yes.
So start small, but start with the full knowledge of why you're doing it.
A truly thorough and insightful deep dive today. It really shows that the path to wellness and internal strength isn't built on complexity, but on accessible foundational knowledge.
Take care of that internal ecosystem, understand the mechanisms at work, and it will absolutely take care of you.
We encourage you to take these insights, apply that functional knowledge, and start exploring the immense power of simple nutrition. Take care of yourself, and we'll catch you on the next deep dive.